The project was to create a vision board for a personal goal that they had for the year. And I gave them the option to do it on paper if they really felt like they wanted to. And the other option was to create it on pages. And all but one chose to do it on pages, and they did really great. Some of them did videos, some of them had some voice recordings, some of them did some graphic, like clip art and shapes and that kind of thing, and then others used those web images that they found or photos in their photo reel.
The Pages template, it could help them with their creativity, but also make sure that the right content gets onto the brochure.
In the classroom, especially in my classroom, I encourage students to take risks. This is their safe place to take these risks, to learn. This is where we learn. If we don't take risks here, we're never going to learn. And I'm part of that risk taking. I learned right there with them.
Especially when it comes to technology, my students have way more experience than I do. So it's important to draw on their own experience and allow them to play with it. They usually can figure it out themselves and do better than I do. So it's good for them to just jump in and try things, because that's how the world is.
When we had met, they had talked about all the different possibilities that I hadn't thought of. It was excellent to have Jeff come in yesterday and help the kids out, give them that expert help with using Pages and walking them through all the steps, because we really haven't had time thus far to do it this year.
There are enough students in the classroom now who know the tool and are at a level of proficiency that they could actually go and teach that tool as my co-teacher, so to speak.
I had two students that I felt like it really impacted. One of them is one of the, what I consider academically lower kids that I have in my group. Has a little bit of lower confidence, especially when it comes to ELA, reading, writing, that kind of thing. And so this provided him with the opportunity to kind of put all that to the side and focus on his creative skills, and he was able to really hone in on those. And then again, when sitting with him and asking him about his vision board, I didn't necessarily understand all the shapes that he had, but he was able to tell me very specifically what their purpose was. And he was confident in doing that. He felt really good about what he was creating.
I thoroughly enjoyed being able to sit down and do the planning, because I had ideas, but I also know that they could help me brainstorm and refine those ideas. The actual assisting with the teaching of the lesson was exceptionally helpful for me too, so that I can turnkey and also teach it myself. The reflective part was even as helpful, because I ran into glitches that I thought were glitches, but they weren't really, because I was reassured that we would be able to get through this, and we are. So the whole process was incredibly important, but not time-consuming at all.
It reassured me in that this group, it has a lot of skill and a lot of talent and a lot of capability that maybe I don't always see, because sometimes I get sucked into the behavior side of things. I was able to see the positives in all of them. It was an hour of, you're doing this really great, you're doing this really well, I'm really proud of you for this. And so that, I think that was reassuring for them, and reinforced the idea that like, we're here for you, and like, we're on your side and we're working together. Like, my job is not to work against you, it's to work with you. And to kind of just push you and help you along.